Former Detroit Police Chief James Craig joins us now. Also, I want to mention he's a Republican running for governor in Michigan. Chief, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the smash and grab. You know what I find intriguing is everyone is saying it's very organized. They're using apps. And I'm thinking, okay, it's some sort of a gang, and no one knows how to fight it. Isn't this the time to bring in something like RICO, Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act? Isn't that what this is?
We have no leadership. But Charles, again, thank you for getting me on your show. I want to also, as we start our segment, I want to offer my prayers out to the retired sergeant who was killed, ironically, at a location that had a smash and grab out in the city of Oakland. But here's the issues. We can't call this leadership. There is no leadership. This is a systematic failure to decriminalize the crime of theft. Now, I can tell you with 4 decades plus of experience, it's predictable. It's escalating into violence. You've heard the stories where customers have been assaulted, employees have been assaulted, and so it's like the broken windows. We know it's going to escalate, but we have these rogue progressive prosecutors who frankly have no concern for businesses, for our community, the patrons that go into these stores. And so it's not a surprise. There's just no consequences for the crime, and it's going to continue to escalate. But you know what I find fascinating? San Francisco DA is now walking back his position. In 2019, he wanted to end mass incarceration. Right. And then you got the governor of California who's now singing a different song. So you can't have it both ways. The Democrats are in trouble. They know it. And this anti-crime, they're just not anti-crime.
Yeah. Chief, let me jump in there because we're talking about very intelligent people. And you've already said 2 or 3 times that we knew the logical outcome of this. I mean, same thing with a district attorney that says, you know what, I don't care if we have bail at $1,000 for someone with a rap sheet that goes back 10 years. I know someone eventually will get hurt. They acknowledge this kind of stuff and still go through with it, knowing that the public is going to be crushed. I mean, people have to live in fear of their lives that someone could commit or, be arrested for committing a heinous crime and be out on $1,000 so they can do it all over again. Ultimately the public has got to wake up to this because they're not going to.
I got to tell you, in recent elections, I think the public is starting to wake up. People are sick and tired. There's no political accountability for these policy failures. That must change. Tlaib out here in the state of Michigan, she just launched some 2020 Breathe Act. She wants to end life sentences, 3 strikes law, and oh, by the way, fully empty prisons in 10 years. Yeah. So what do we say to folks that live in those vulnerable communities to rely on the police and other public servants? And by the way, prosecutors and judges are also public servants.
Chief, she's going to unleash hell on those communities, pure hell on those communities. I got a minute to go. I'm going to read you a quote. You do such disservice when you lie about something like this. That's Jesse Smollett, the actor. That's what he said. Anyone who would lie about being attacked, who would try to create some sort of racial animosity, does such a disservice. If he's found guilty of this, what should be the penalty for it?
He definitely should be held accountable. I'm going to get into penalty, but I got to tell you, everybody is quick to play the race card or sexual orientation. Even the vice president, I guess during the campaign trail, took a position of there's an escalation of crimes against those because of their sexual orientation. Yeah. I won't reject that, but let's focus on the crime. If this man committed a crime, he needs to be held accountable. Bottom line.
Bottom line. Chief, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.